On Saturday, did we see the future of boxing? Some people say yes. Some people say calm down, too early. I'm a bit in the latter as well. Calm down, too early. But Benavidez did put a beat on Caleb Plant. And now everyone's saying it should be him versus Canelo next. To discuss that, G-Man is in the building. His link to his channel is in the description. Please make sure you subscribe to his channel. All right, before we talk about potential fights for Benavidez, because there's fights at 168, there's fights at 175 because he's so big. But he's bigger than Bivol. He's bigger than Bivol. He's bigger than Bivol. I'm telling you, he's bigger than Boatsi. Tell you that now.
Most light heavyweights.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's a unit.
So he's clearly going to go to 175. But that fight, I think, in most people's eyes, if you ask people to predict how a fight's going to play out, I think people said that Plant will win the first 4 or 5, then Benavidez will catch him.
Yeah.
Almost a bit like a relay, where the guy goes off and the other guy's just chilling. Like, I'm going to get you, and then just catches him down the straight.
Matador bull.
That's pretty much what it was.
Matador's having all the success early with the bull finally catches him.
1 second, I can't read that now. And Plant just ran out of gas and ultimately was just not strong enough. Didn't have the punch to keep Benavidez off. But credit to Plant, though.
That was the key thing. If Plant had the punch to get Benavidez respect, different fight. But he didn't. And he hit him. Yeah. He hit him with some good left hooks early on.
Which kind of made me watch that fight and not think of Canelo. I was thinking of Charlo. Because I think Charlo's got a bit more punch power. I know 160 coming up, but I feel like he's got a bit more punch, a bit more oomph than Caleb Plant. Does he have the grit? I don't know sometimes. But I do wonder if he's got that punch to keep Benavidez off. But for me, Benavidez, look, I'm not going to say he looks spectacular because I'm not one of those.
No.
Yeah, his feet weren't great. I didn't see great hand speed. All I saw was a guy that was almost a bit like a Margarito type, where you just can't stop them. They're like Terminators.
They just keep coming. They don't care what you're throwing at them. And the problem is, for the fighter on the other end, you're just like, please stop. What do I have to do here?
Yeah.
And I think it was, if I had one criticism about that fight, it was the refereeing.
Yeah.
I think that Kenny Bayless was the difference between Caleb Plant seeing the 12 and getting stopped, because that 8th round was bizarre. Like, stopping it in the middle of an exchange for a doctor to go and have a look at him. I've never seen that.
Yeah. You either stop it, which at one stage I thought he might.
So did I.
I thought, oh, is he stopping it? And then, oh no, he's going to the doctor. But you've then given him a breather.
You've given him a breather.
Yeah.
And then the round's nearly over anyway.
Yeah.
So could you not have waited until he was in the corner to do that?
Yeah.
It made no sense for me.
Look, I don't want to ever sort of label a referee as being dodgy, because Kenny Bayless has been around
years.
Longer before I was born. Yeah. And he's refereed all the top fights, right? He's hundreds of title fights, but he got it wrong. And I think he can put his hand, he'll probably watch the performance back and he'll put his hand up saying, okay, I've got a few things wrong there.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made indeed. But ultimately, I guess we as fans are lucky that the right person won.
The right person
So it wasn't something controversial to where the right person didn't win. How good is Benavidez for you?
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. No, I've always been, since I seen Benavidez at the start, back before he even had a world title, I think it was 2016, he reminded me, not in terms of style, but dimensions, as a better version of Callum Smith. Because
okay, I like
if you think about it, like, Callum Smith was a big, tall, super middleweight. Benavidez, big, tall, super middleweight, but he just had more the eye test.
Yeah.
Benavidez has that. He still does.
It's funny because I think that's such a good comparison, because I think they remind me of each other now. Like, Callum Smith now has become this killer under Buddy McGirt. He goes for the kill more. He goes to hurt you more. Whereas I felt like Callum Smith at 168,
he could make a fight go longer than it needed to.
Yes.
Like Luke Blackledge has been stopped early loads of times. Took Callum Smith 10 rounds.
There you go. Whereas I'm watching Callum, the way he's putting guys to sleep now, and I'm like, that's kind of Benavidez-esque. Yeah, it's kind of a feeling. So I don't know if that's just an American thing where it's a bit more aggressive, but yeah, I'm super impressed with Benavidez, and I feel like he's a big problem for everyone.
He is a big problem for everyone. He's
big problem for
WBC
everyone.
interim champion now.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez waiting.
Yeah.
Mate.
What is the bigger fight for Canelo? Bear in mind, if you're Canelo now, it's all about legacy. You've got hundreds of millions in the bank. I done something the other day, actually. I saw that Canelo's worth, or has made like 500 million. Crazy. So that's done. You're a 4-weight world champion. That's done. So now it's just a case of, okay, where will I end up when it's all said and done, as the greatest Mexican or one of the greatest of all time? What fight is bigger for him in that sense, Bivol or Benavidez?
Bivol, because he rights the wrong.
Yeah.
You know, at that stage, it'll only be Floyd Mayweather was the only one who was able to beat him and walk off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So for legacy, and if it's done at 175,
oh my God,
it's another world title. Now he's already been light heavyweight champion, but another belt on top of that. So for legacy, it would have to be Bivol. In terms of just marketing value for massive money, I mean, you do that fight in Mexico on a Mexican holiday, it will through the roof,
bro.
It will be it'd be baseball numbers.
Right, bro. Like, I'm laughing.
Crazy numbers.
Benavidez, Canelo. Even if you do it in Vegas, I know obviously, which is basically Mexico. When they fight there, it's Mexico. That fight, I think they'll go Raiders Stadium. I think they're doing
They
stadium.
do
One of the
Vegas,
football stadiums.
100%.
Benavidez, Canelo. And it's weird how all of a sudden, because Canelo's lost to Bivol, it's like, oh, he's not that guy anymore. I'm like, yo, you're sleeping. I think you maybe didn't know how good Bivol was. Yeah. But you're sleeping on Canelo. Canelo's no Caleb Plant.
No.
Canelo's got a better IQ. He can hit. And one thing Canelo we know has got is whiskers.
Good chin.
Can
punch.
Yes.
It's a different ball game.
Different ball game
altogether.
Just even the media process of fighting Canelo. You have to do media every single minute, every single day. When you want to train, you got to do media. And we know he's struggling to cut weight, Benavidez. So even that on your body is a lot.
And what does Canelo love? He loves it when a fighter comes at him.
Oh, he loves it.
When a fighter comes at him, he will light them up with his combinations.
Light them up. Like, he hated Bivol because Bivol would stay
Just
away.
move constantly, yeah.
So when someone's coming right at him like a matador...
Canelo is like, I'm in my element.
Like, what? You're in my pocket?
Oh, this is going to be fun. And he's such a big, huge target.
Yeah.
Canelo won't be able to miss him.
Yeah. But can Canelo keep him off?
That's the question.
Yeah.
It's one off. Kept Golovkin off.
Some might say peak Golovkin off.
Peak Golovkin off.
Yeah.
I mean, Golovkin, one of the best chins we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Golovkin knew, okay, this guy can crack. You know, I can walk through it, but I'm not going to walk through many of them.
Yeah. So I think it will be intriguing. And look, just the idea of it now. I don't know, Canelo said, I'm not going to fight a Mexican. I'm like, dude, you might have to.
You might have to.
You might have to fight a Mexican because he's mandatory unless you want to vacate your belts. And if you vacate, people are going to accuse you of ducking. And Canelo ain't no ducker, from what I know anyway. So it will be intriguing to see what happens next with both.
It's a good one because, again, like legacy, Bivol. But you can just picture in Mexico, or as you say, in a stadium in Vegas, the numbers that fight doing. And I think as well as that, it is a better fight from a stylistic entertainment point of view. You know, Benavides, Canelo, it's going to be fireworks from the start. With Bivol, you know it's going to be a bit more of a cagey affair. Yeah. It's more a technical boxing match. Boxing purists would love it. But with Benavides, Canelo...
If Canelo was to end his career, and I've always said, by the way, with Canelo, why is he still doing it? I know I'm soft. I'm like, well, you've got a wife and kids. You've become a 4-weight world champion. You've got everything you ever dreamed of.
Only 32.
Why? Only 32.
Only
He's been
32.
fighting since he was 15, though.
It seems like he's been around for decades.
Professional since he was 15. I mean, some people never lace. AJ laced him up at 18.
Fighting at the highest level since he was 20.
That's what I love so much about him. So when people diss him, I'm like, you might just want to check his record. This guy's been fighting big fights at a high lick since he was 20. Remember when he fought Miguel Cotto's brother?
Yeah.
Early. So you know what I mean? So he's been fighting those fights. But if he were to end his career when it's all said and done, and look, this is a big if, with a Bivol tick on it and a Benavidez tick on it, then there's an all-time discussion that needs to be had.
Is there a chance that Canelo is looking at Badu Jack and thinking, I fancy that?
Yeah, he regrets that now.
I'd say
There's
regrets
no way
that
he doesn't
big
regret
time.
that. He done the face-off, didn't it? The WBC convention.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone thought, okay, he's going to become a 5-weight world champion because he might have beat Badu. I know Badu's strong, by the way, though.
Badu Jack is
Badu's
strong.
Oh, sorry. So you're talking Badu Jack.
Badu
So I was
Jack.
thinking Makabu. Oh, you might... Oh.
Because Badu Jack still has... He's a guy who was fighting at super middleweight only a couple of years ago. Canelo's weight.
I didn't even think about that.
Think of it like that.
No.
And Badu Jack, I'm sure he'd be looking at Canelo and thinking, my phone, I'm looking at that phone, I'm ready to go. Badu Jack's a warrior. But against against Makabu, it was kind of like two guys who'd seen better days.
Yeah, two old guys
with a title
slugging
on the line.
out with a title on the line. I don't know.
Young fighters.
I don't know. Look, one thing Canelo does have is more options than anyone.
Oh yeah,
he has more options than anyone. Literally, he picks up that phone call to anyone and they're taking the fight.
They're jumping.
Yeah, but look, back to Benavidez. I'm happy for him because I've been one of those fighters. I mean, sort of fans, a bit like you. We know the talent's there.
Oh yeah.
But we need to see you put someone big on your resume. Like there needs to be a big name.
A big name.
And he's got that now in Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, no scrub.
No slouch whatsoever.
No yeah.
So he has that name.
He has that now.
Now
so
it's pushing on.
Yeah, now it's okay. Let's push on. Let's go. Whether it be Charlo, whether it be this Morel kid.
David Morel.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
He's a 9-0. I think he's 9-0. 25-year-old Cuban super middleweight.
Oh,
that's
God.
a tough prospect.
Avoid
that's a tough
avoid
prospect.
Cubans at any 1-0. Avoid them.
1-0.
Yeah, avoid them.
You know what you're getting into there.
And not just that. And look, if it's Benavidez, what do you get out of that?
I don't get anything.
What do you get out of it?
I mean, he's already intra WBC champion.
Yeah.
You'll be WBA mandatory, so it's basically the same.
Yeah. You don't get anything
You don't
out
get
of
any-
it.
it doesn't-
If I'm Benavidez, I wait for Charlo. That's the one. That's the big one, isn't it?
That's the one.
Mexican versus African American, 2 different fan bases. Everyone loves those fights. Charlo chats a lot of shit. Benavidez chats shit. His dad chats shit. Perfect sell, easy. And then the winner potentially fights Canelo.
That's it. That's
it.
literally it.
And then you
And
run off into the sunset.
You'd favour Benavides because of the inactivity for Charlo.
Yeah, yeah.
2 years nearly.
But Charlo
2
is
years.
a dog. That fight there, yeah. If you thought Caleb Plant versus Benavidez was exciting, Charlo versus Benavidez,
Charlo.
I'm telling you now,
He is going to be throwing them combinations.
mate, fast hands, rips them, power. Ooh, take my money now,
Those
boy.
uppercuts, he is going to be lighting up with those uppercuts.
I'm telling you now, but yeah, Benavidez has done well. Like, he's, I guess, announced himself as one of the top fighters in the world. That's what happens. You take the risk, you roll the dice, best fight the best, you win, you're there or thereabouts. G-Man in the building, as always, my man. Appreciate you coming down. Thank you very much, guys. Subscribe to his channel. The link is in the description. 11,000 subscribers. We know we want more. He will get more. And I'm on my search for 50 as well, so please subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.